MP10, the centerpiece of many masterpiece collections for the last 12 years. It has been the constant in toy review size comparisons for nearly a decade, and you cannot deny how massive the impact MP10 made in the Transformers toy collecting scene. The masterpiece scene was thriving, whereas CHUG, we weren't doing as well, with the likes of Combiner Wars Optimus Prime. In comes MP10V, a downscaled KO of MP10 made by KBB. Now MP10 was always out of my price range, but currently MP10V is steadily available for just £13 on Taobao. This video will serve as my thoughts on the MP10 figure as well as a review of the MP10V toy. Articulation wise, he retains all of that was in MP10, with a good range of up and down movement in the head, aided by the transformation flap. His shoulders go 360 degrees, and you can pull the shoulder out for just a bit of added range in outwards movement. There's a swivel at the bicep which squeaks when you rotate it. There's a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and there's a few hinges on his fingers. The index fingers are individually hinged so Optimus can point at stuff. The other three are stuck together and don't do too good of a job holding his stock rifle. He has a waist swivel, and because his hip skirts don't kick up, the leg is limited in terms of upwards and outwards movement. The knees are on ratcheted hinges, which clicks nicely. There's not too big of a bend in them, with the bend being less than 90 degrees. There's a swivel at the thigh, which again is squeaky. I would have included the squeaks and ratchet sounds, but my brother was watching the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie in the back, and to be honest, I was thoroughly entertained listening to it, so majority of this video will be muted. Accessory wise, of course he comes with the Matrix of Leadership. Now be careful of how you open his chest, because the first time I tried, I used my nail and ended up scratching the chrome off the piece. Anyways, the Matrix is painted very nicely, with the added feature of it being able to open. I don't think the original MP10 has this feature, so it's neat. It's just a bit floppy because the sides are constantly on a slider. You may notice that I've been posing MP10V with this wonderful rifle. The bad news is he is not the father of the rifle. It belongs to YOLO Park's AMK Pro Series G1 Optimus Prime. Why wouldn't I use the actual one? Because it's tiny, okay? It's half the size it should be, but it folds nicely the same way as MP10s and stores within the backpack part. I really appreciate this bit of engineering for the toy, and let's just take a second to appreciate the backpack on MP10 and MP10V. Very compact and clean looking. The toy also comes with 3 new heads. 2 alternate versions of the G1 Optimus Prime head, but they never go full G1 with the lack of the baseball cap design. The one on the right looks like it's skybound Optimus Prime, but unfortunately its left eye is so badly placed it looks like he's blind at that side. To install these heads, there's a black screw at the back of the head, and you just unscrew it, not all the way, just enough for you to pull the head upwards and remove it from the neck hinge. To be honest, the G1 heads look too thin on this body, but they retain the same amount of articulation as the original. Honestly, I might take that skybound head and use a lighter to bend the antenna for a battle damaged look. I think I'd love that. The third head is quite an odd choice. It's an Orion Pax head that strangely looks like how he does in Transformers 1. He even has that small mouthplate detail on his chin. Let's take the rifle off his hands so he's truly Orion Pax, and instead have him give us a bit of a wave. He also does come with 2 extra accessories, 1 fully die-cast The Last Knight sword, and 1 gun mode Megatron, which I seem to have forgotten to show in this review. This is my first time messing with MP10 and MP10V toy, and I have to say the transformation is truly enjoyable. It is very simple and straightforward, everything clicks and slides into place, and it really feels like the true step up from the original G1 toy. To transform him, open up his windows and untab the grille from the bottom of his chest. We then mess with his sides. Here we hinge them down and rotate the silver part, move them out of the way as we deal with the arms, in which we fold down the panel under the fist and rotate the fist in. always forget this step, which is to fold down that ladder sort of looking thing under his forearm. And once that's done on both sides, we're good to go closing the cab of the truck together. My favourite bit of the transformation, I think, is the very satisfying part of tabbing the headlights onto the front of the grille, and we truly have a beautiful truck on the way. We then rotate him at the waist and deal with his legs. There's these panels that should be folded onto the side of the legs, and you can now tab the legs together. Then firmly grab a hold of the entire back of the truck and give it a good push upwards up the slider. Unfold the panels covering the wheels in the back and hinge the gas canisters forwards. And there we have MP10V in this stunning vehicle mode. Just take a second and marvel at the chrome and vibrant paintwork. And in my opinion, the cherry on top is that he scales perfectly with the CHUG cars. Out of context, here's my favourite toy of all time, Beast Wars Cheetor, and they look like they'll have a good time together. Let's bring in Hasbro's most recent Bumblebee offering, the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee in his alt mode, and it just works. Speaking of Bumblebee, I'm going to bring in the spike that comes with MP version 2 Bumblebee, because MP10V here, same as MP10, sports a molded seat inside his cab. Let's see if we can force Spike to sit inside the seat. And the answer is yes, but he's too tall to do so. It's just good to know that there's an option for me to shove Spike in somewhere. The differences in paintwork carry over from the bot mode into the alt mode, with the taillights now being yellow, and the silver on the toes now being featured at the back of the truck. I had to take some time to admire how clean the back of the truck looks. Apart from the side mirrors not being able to fold in, the only difference in transformation is the legs. In the original MP10, when you extend the legs, there's a button you press to do so, and here you just give it a big tug and off it goes. MP10V came out 7 years ago, and for that amount of time it's been in some collections as the perfect CHUG Optimus Prime stand-in. I'm sure the newest SS86 Optimus Prime would dethrone him, with the improved articulation and with it basically looking like a mini MP44, but in my eyes MP10V should still proudly deserve a spot in your CHUG collection. There's just nothing really like the look of MP10, so do you have an MP10V or MP10 in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the footage taken from my new camera. So that's it for now. Please check out my latest videos, stay safe and goodbye.